Maya, what is an adjective?
It's a word that you describe something.
Right. And it describes a noun. It describes a noun. Like if we have a boy, we can say, let's see, he is a silly boy because he likes making us laugh. Okay? So silly would describe boy. So we're going to be looking for adjectives in our reader. I would like you to go get your reader now. Hurry up, Kinley. Besabe. We're going to be trying to find as many adjectives in the story, the beginning, as we can. Journey, now you can open your book. Thank you for trying to wait. All right, we're going to begin at the sentence. Thank you, Elijah, for helping him. We are going to begin at the sentence that says King Alfred. Everybody touch the sentence that says King Alfred. Does everybody see that sentence? It says King Alfred was in charge of the land that stretched from the dark forest of the north to the sea of the south. Everybody see that sentence? Before we find the adjectives, we first have to find the nouns. So in that sentence, can anybody find the nouns? What nouns do you see, Elijah? King, yes, is a noun. Alfred is a noun because it says part of his name, yes. Land is a noun. Sea is a noun. Good job. Okay, which part is the noun? You remember, noun is a person, place, or thing. You were starting to get it. You said dark what? Forest. So forest would be a noun because that's a place, right? All right, so I'm going to write our nouns on the board. We said King Alfred. That's a person. We said land. We said forest. And we said sea. These are all the nouns in that sentence. Now, can we find the adjective the authors use to describe the nouns? Journey, what adjectives describing words do you see? South. Okay. What does south describe? Which one of our nouns does south describe? Isaiah. Okay, but in our sentence, which word is south describing? It's describing the sea. So it lets us know it's a South Sea. So we know the location of where this place is. Please go get your reader. Okay? Remember, an adjective helps the reader visualize a picture in your head. It gives us more information to visualize. All right? Yes, you may. All right, who can find another adjective? Maya. Large. Which word does large describe? Izzy? Land. Again, it's helping us visualize and see a picture in our head. Because we know it's not a small place, it's big. Because large tells us it's lots of space. A large land. Okay? All right. Does anybody see another adjective? Okay, north. Yes, north. Where? What is that describing? Read the sentence. See if you can figure out what it's describing. Forest. It says it's the forest of the north. So, yes, that would be going toward the forest. It lets us know the direction, the north forest. Okay? Can anybody find another adjective in that sentence? Yes. King Alfred was in charge of the large land. Does that describe anything? No, so that word wouldn't be an adjective in the sentence. There's another adjective. See if you keep reading that sentence, see if you can find it. Izzy. Dark. Which word does dark describe? It describes the forest. So we know it's a northern dark forest. That tells us the location and also what it looks like, right? It describes it. It's helping us paint that picture in our head. All right, so I want you to turn to page 10. Flip a couple pages to page 10.
I'm on page
La
10.
página 10. Okay.
It's on the wrong page.
Okay, yeah, she's going. She's going, honey. Okay. So, on the last sentence, everybody go to the last. We're going to go to the bottom. It says, but Sir Gus liked a long soak in a bathtub better than a fight. Who can tell me what the noun is in this sentence? This was a little tricky. There's a couple of nouns in here, but the one that has an adjective is a little tricky because that word can be used as another part of speech as well. Kinley. So, oh, girl, kiss your brain. You figured it out. Soak. The reason why I said it's tricky because soak can also be a verb. Okay? So, he wants a soak. What word did they use to describe it? Look at that sentence. Wyatt. What word did they use to describe the soak? Let's read. We're going to raise our hand. Elijah, you can stop or you may move your clip. Long. This is telling us the amount of time. Okay? So this describes how long it was. All right, let's go up a little bit on the line above it. It says he had a spear and a sword. He had a spear and a sword. Those are two nouns, right? But they don't give us any adjectives or describing words. Okay? I would like you to flip back in your reader to page 3 so you can see it. And let's see if we can provide some adjectives for these two nouns. Look at those pictures. What words could we use to describe a spear and a sword? Isaiah, what words would you use?
Pointy.
Pointy. We could use pointy, a pointy spear. Clayton, what word would you describe it?
Sharp.
Sharp. Good. Sharp would be a great one for either one of them.
Sharp for the spear and sharp for the
Right. It could go for both.
long.
Ansley.
Long.
Long. They are long. So we could use long as a long sword or a long spear. Okay?
Because
Any other? Kinley? Huh? Protective? Yes, they are uses, so they are protective.
after that, are you going to put the shield and hands?
No. Great job. Kiss your brains. You guys have did a fabulous job finding those nouns and providing some adjectives to go with those nouns. Remember we said I know this is from yesterday, the lance was used, you remember when they're on horseback because it's a long pole. So if they're battling in the on horseback, the lance would help them reach the other person. But we've got to keep going, okay? So for right now, we're going to close our books because we're going to learn a little bit more about adjectives, and I don't want us to be distracted, okay? I'm going to write some words on the board, and I want you to look at these words and see if you see anything they have in common. Shh. Shh. Please turn around, Clayton. All right. Look at these words here. Quietly think to yourself and look at these words. Look and see if you can see anything they all have similar or in common. I should see all eyes on the board. Izzy, what do you see that's in common about all of these words?
All end in O-U-S.
You are correct. Kiss your brain. They do all end in O-U-S. And we learned yesterday that O-U, we know it can say ow, but what was the other sound we learned yesterday that it can make? Elijah? It can say So if it's O-U-S, what sound do you think this is making? S. Because this is a new sound we learned, the s put together. When you have words, these are, put your hand down. This right here is like a clue. If you have any words that end in us, more than likely they are going to be adjectives. O-U-S lets a reader know it's describing something. It's describing a noun. So if we know that O-U-S means that it's a describing word, an adjective, what do we know about these words I've put on the board? Kinley. Yes, we've already said they are, but what do we know about it because they have O-U-S? Maya? They're going to be all adjectives, okay? Let me write.
Miss Wilson,
Yes.
I thought it was U-S because that makes us.
Yes, but remember we learned yesterday that O-U can say too? So yes, U-S would be us, but this ending is an adjective sound for us as well. So I have some words on the board, okay? Let's start with this one here. Is everybody looking at the board? Okay? I want you to quietly start reading this word in your head. Try to tap out those sounds in your head. We're not going to yell it out first. Now, do not yell out what the word is. Who can tell me from looking at this word how many syllables this word is going to have? Do not tell me the word. Who can tell me how many syllables this word has? Izzy. Are you sure? Why are you saying 3? Why are you saying the amount? Just because I ask you does not mean you're wrong, but I want to know. Why do you think it's that many? What from this word tells you it's that many syllables?
Because the O-U-S is working together.
Okay. And then, remember I'm asking for syllables. Not how many sound boxes we would use. How many syllables is this word? Would you like some help? All right. Elijah, how many syllables do you know this word's going to have? 2. How do you know it's going to be 2 syllables?
Because I put the bam into bang, and I put the
So what are you looking for to know that there's 2 syllables? What do we look for in words?
we split it between A and M.
You guys are so correct. But let's listen to the question I'm asking. How do we know that there are 2 syllables? There's something we always look for to know the syllable count. Kinley.
You have to tear them apart and then put the thing in them.
I'm going to do something, and I'm see if this will help you remember. What did Miss Wilson go find? Maya, please tell me. Betty Bond, sit up. What did I underline? Oh, who can help her? What did Miss Wilson find? Clayton, what did I find?
A-U.
I found the A and the O-U, but what are those called? Thank you! We found the vowels. The vowels let us know how many syllables. So if we have 2 vowels, 1 vowel by itself and then a vowel team, we know there has to be 2 syllables. Now, how do we know to split it?
Because if you put it with the bang.
Okay, so what are you telling me?
Split it between the A and the
Okay, you're saying split here. And why are we choosing to split here?
Famous because it's a open.
Right. You want to make it, you're splitting it here because you want to make this an open vowel, right? Because what sound do we need to make for this? We need to make A so it makes a word that makes sense. If we split it after the M, what word would that be? Famous. Do we know a word that says famous? No, but we do know a word, famous. So yes, we would split it here. Good job. So that means if they're famous, it's relating to fame. So now let's go through our other words. Since we know how to split, let's try our other words. Who can tell me what this word says? Clayton.
Monstrous.
Monstrous. What do you think monstrous means? It's scary. Because what word do you kind of hear in that? You hear monster, so we know it means something scary. Monsters. Okay?
I know.
Oh, let's read our next word. All eyes up here, guys. Elijah, close your book, or Miss Wilson will take it for right now because I'm looking at the board. What's our new word here? Izzy. Let's find. None of us are sure. Let's see. There's a vowel here, vowel team here. Whew, how many syllables does this have? 3. All right, knowing there are 3 syllables, see if you can break it apart now and figure out the word. You got to read from the reader because you got illustrations, but now we're going to read it on the paper because we are going to mark on it. You can't mark it on your books. So we're going to mark using a paper copy of it, okay? We are going to use the green, blue, and red to notate which meaning of well we see as we read, okay? if we see the word well and it is an adjective, we will use the green.
Yes, ma'am.
If we see it used as a noun, like a deep hole for water, we will use blue. And then if it is like an expression of emotion, we will use the red. Uriel, will you close the door, please? All right. If you look on our papers, it shows you what page we are reading at the side. Do you see that? Let's go to the second paragraph, okay? So this will be the first paragraph. Let's go down here to our second paragraph here. Let's read it. Well, you know what? I will read it out loud. Are you ready? Please follow along. You've already read it, but please follow along. All was well until he began to itch. He scratched his leg. He scratched his neck. He tried to scratch his back and nearly fell off the horse. Nothing seemed to help. At last, Sir Gus told himself he had better stop, lest he scratch himself right off the king's horse. Did anybody hear the word well? Good. Which meaning did you hear? Right? Clayton, you think it was fine or good? If you agree with Clayton, give a thumbs up. You are correct. Let's highlight or circle that well in green. That had the meaning of everything was fine or good. I love you too, baby. So everybody got it? All right. It said when Sir Gus rode his horse in the country, he galloped over the green land and lovely rolling hills. What do you think that the setting is for this story? As you read, what was the setting for the story? Remember, setting is time and place. Izzy. Why are we thinking west? Is there anything that makes us think the west? So you're thinking so close, like maybe to farmland because you hear that. Anybody else? What do you think the setting is?
In the country?
It's like in the country, right? And so like you thinking like farmland and things like that because we hear words like green land and rolling hills. So it's out in the country. It's not in a city, is it? And then what would be the time for this story? Journey, what would the time be? Is it present day or is it long ago? Right, this is somewhere long ago because we're in the time of kings and queens and knights and things like this. So this is longer than that. Okay?
That was when knights were alive, when dinosaurs were alive. And dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Dragons
Mm-hmm.
were when you were born. Jeez,
Right.
I didn't know. You don't know.
All right, so let's keep going. It said, are we ready to listen? It says, near the farmhouse, let's go to the third paragraph. It says, Sir Gus stopped in front of the farmhouse. Near the farmhouse was a stone well. Standing near the well was a young, strong-looking man. I hear that word again. Does this have the same meaning as the first well?
Yes. No.
Which meaning is used this time? Maya. Right. So please let's highlight or circle in blue. It does mean here a deep hole in the ground where water is. So underground water. So I should see you coloring it with blue. There were two in that paragraph that meant that.
Are y'all right here?
Yes. All right, let's go down to page 26. It says, Sir Gus went to draw water from the well. He grabbed the rope and began to tug on it. But then he felt the need to scratch. He let go of the rope and started scratching himself. Soon he was itching himself so hard that he started jumping up and down. Okay, I hear the word well again. What was the meaning for that well? Izzy? Right, it's still using the meaning of a deep hole. So color it. Which color?
Blue.
Blue. How do we know that it means the deep hole? Maya? Right, he's getting water. Draw water means he's getting the water. So we know it has to mean this type of well. Let's go down to page 28. It says, it was a good thing that Sir Gus was tall. The water in the well only came up to his chest. I hear that word again. Isaiah, which meaning is the well here? Listen. It was a good thing that Sir Gus was tall. The water in the well only came up to his chest.
It's the water well again.
It is, because we heard the word water.
I circled well.
So put it in blue.
I did.
Good job.
We haven't did red yet.
I know, we got to keep going. We'll find it. All right. So let's go down to that next line. It says, the young man peered down into the well. Which one is it again?
Well.
Yes, but which meaning?
Blue.
Blue, the deep hole. Right? Let's keep going. It says, have no fear, he shouted to Sir Gus. I will help you. I will drop the bucket down. Take hold of it. I will lift you up. Oh, that's will, not well. What evidence does this text let us know that everything is going to be okay? How do we know everything's going to be okay, Kinley? Right, he's saying have no fear. He's saying don't be scared. I've got you. I'm coming to get you. So there's somebody there to help him, right? All right, flip your page over. Okay, this is page 30. Listen to the story. As Sir Gus reached the top of the well, the young man offered the knight his hand. Which is the meaning? Well, the water, so blue. Young man, said Sir Gus as he stepped out of the well. Which meaning? Water, color it blue. I am touched by your generous deed. I would like to thank you for helping me. What is your name? My name is Robin, replied the man. Well then, Robin, said Sir Gus, I thank you. Which meaning was that? Izzy. Red. It's just an expression.
It's the
It's saying, right. So we're going to use red there.
where I couldn't find
Okay. Well then, Robin. Is that meaning like a deep hole? Right. It's just an expression. So color it red.
Robin's the robber. He actually is the robber.
Yeah, please turn around. I'm going to skip down here. It says the two men shook hands. Robin clasped the knight's hand so tightly that the water dripped from his glove. Robin smiled. Come into my house, he said. I will find you some dry clothing. Sir Gus went inside. Sit down, said Robin. I will fetch you some dry clothing and something to drink. And Robin left the room. What does the word fetch mean here? Izzy?
Fetch means here. It means that you'll get something.
Right, you're going to go get it. You're going to go find it, right? Let's go down to the sections labeled for page 32. Sir Gus sat down on a wooden chair. As he did so, a large black cat jumped onto his lap. At once, Sir Gus began to itch all over. He got up and started jumping up and down. He jumped so hard that he knocked over the chair and bumped the shelf. Some things fell off the shelf as he bent down to pick up these things. Sir Gus spotted the ring. It was the king's ring. Robin was the robber.
You can see it. You can hear it in his name.
Did the author kind of give us a clue? They made the character's name sound like the robber.
I knew he was sus from the beginning.
Right. You thought he was sus. Yes. Sometimes authors do that. They will give you names and give you hints and clues to be able to figure out what's going on. So that's probably why the author chose Robin for the robber. Good job.
Dr. Robertson.
Yeah, we have Dr. Robertson, but she's not a robber. Okay. All right, let's go down to page 34. It says, Sir Gus stood thinking for a moment. There was no point in fighting the man, Sir Gus said to himself. That would be dangerous. I can tell by his grip that he is very strong. Sir Gus grabbed the ring and then tiptoed quietly out of the house. He mounted his horse and rode back to see the king. How did Sir Gus tell that Robin's grip was strong? Ansley.
Because his arms look big.
Right. He had big arms. Yes? And what else?
As soon as he got out of the well, he squeezed him so tight that the water just
Right.
out of his
Right.
mouth.
How he clasped him, let him know that he's pretty strong. That's not somebody I want to mess with. I see. Shh. Yes. All right. So I want you to turn to a partner and think about the different meanings of well did you hear in the chapter. How many meanings of well did we hear in this chapter?
3. Well.
Yeah. And I want you to tell your chapter something that you thought was your favorite part of this story. Kenley, turn to Isaiah so you can have a partner. What was your favorite part of the story? Tell your partner your favorite part of the story. Don't worry about 4.2 since it's the repeat of what we were doing. I'm not going to worry about it today, but you guys did a great job. So I would like you to go put 4.1 in your mailbox, and you can throw away 4.2 for today.